All right, guys. Up to some fun games from when Byron and I caught up last time in person. On the left of the screen, you'll see me piloting Thrawn Red. On the right, Byron's piloting Boba for Yellow. Without any further ado, let's get into some games. You'll hear some commentary from both of us talking about what plays we were making. Let's see what happens. So, starting off, I'm taking the initiative. Turn 1 play, we have an series officer, really good with the Thrawn deck. When defeated, deal 2 damage to base, and it can tap twice.
Yeah, I hate that card in Thrawn.
It's that card suddenly went up in value.
Yep. So I've played my ISB agent. I will point out here, I did such a dumb. I put a ground unit in my space unit section.
Yep. Do you think with that kind of map we would decide what's going on?
Yeah.
So Byron, Daring Raid's the series officer. I tap Thrawn. So that's going to deal 4 to base. Now, yeah, obviously just on the screen you can see that we've had a judge call here. Byron did not understand how Thrawn works. If you had
I didn't. I just didn't know how things work after the initiative has been claimed. Because Boba does the same thing.
So basically what this comes down to is that because Thrawn's leader ability is not an action, you would have seen earlier in that phase I claimed and then double tapped Thrawn. So that's what Byron was just getting clarity on here.
Yeah. I have always been under the impression that it's like, because it exhausts the leader, you can't do that after it's been claimed and like the initiative's been claimed. So that's why even with Boba, I've always kind of thought, oh yeah, I can't do that. So I got a little confused. That's simple as it is.
My easy way to remember this is that if your leader doesn't have an arrow, that means it's not an action, so that's merely like almost like a passive ability, and that's what you see on the Thrawn leader.
Yeah. I did get a little confused here. I was explaining at this point as well, like, kind of why I was confused and what I would have been doing. Because I originally would have just ISB agent, show the Daring Raid, kill the take the 4 that I'm going to be taking anyway, and then play my Daring Raid, deal 2 damage to base, and keep going from there, which, thankfully, Dale agrees to let me take it all back. Hashtag good guy Dale. And now you see me doing exactly what I just said.
And if I had my time again, or if this was in a PQ, I probably wouldn't be a good guy. I'd probably just put 4 straight onto his base.
I was taking 4 anyway. It was really just if you wanted to take 3 or if you wanted to take 1.
1 is better than 3.
It is. It is.
Shuffle, deciding what to do next. I claim.
Yeah, so you also got a tiny bit confused here, because you thought my ISB was swinging into you. Thankfully, we do clarify that, and you take that back down to 3. It is my fault there. I suck at putting my units in sideways. I always put them in like as if they're ready, and then turn them. But I need to get better at that. So I want to apologize for that right now.
Looks like Byron got some nice draws there. The Fet's Fire Spray and Triple Dark Raid. That's pretty nasty.
Oh, it was. Yeah, and there we go. I fixed my my ground in space issue.
So first action of the phase, I play Val, another amazing card that's shot up in value from Thrawn. Being able to put 4 experience on something can be nuts.
Yep. So I put my P38, 1 damage on Val, which also pops Boba's ability. That's why it's in that deck, and it's amazing to have. Val's 4 HP, isn't she?
Yes, Val is a 2/4. So with Boba's ability, I chose to take to Vel.
Yeah, I'm very scared about Val in this type of deck. That's why I swung my ISB straight into Val just in case, I could do something on the next turn, kill her off instantly before you manage to play something. Because she gives 2 experience tokens, correct?
Correct.
And then Thrawn's ability makes that 4?
Also correct.
Yeah.
And what I'd really be looking for here is being able to play a unit via exploit and then give those 4 experience to Thrawn, to the new unit that I play, but couldn't get it off there. So we've just gone with another series officer.
I don't remember what I did here. I think I was a little scared to do the fire spray, just because of that free indirect damage with Boba's ability. You could have put one of those onto Val, boosting up a lot, and kind of had me a bit scared.
I think the only thing that I'd consider with that one is that I want to die, so putting the 4 experience on him kind of does suck for me, although I would be able to punch for 6. That would be cool.
You'd be punching for a lot, and that's just a little too scary. I guess I'm really just thinking here. Yeah, so I just kill off the
Then that's 4 damage to Byron's base.
Yeah, it hurt.
One thing I love about this deck is being able to put damage on your base without having to take an action.
Yeah. So now I do the 4 for Fet's Fire Spray. And I think you just have to put all 3 of that onto base at this point. Val's useless if she dies here, and so then I swing for another 3. Yep.
And I think I would have claimed here.
Yep,
that's all you have gone to a new turn. I should make it more evident when I claim rather than just tap that nice SWU Vic initiative token.
Yeah, I tend to reach over and steal the entire token and bring it onto my side. And if it's on my side, I either tap it or I just lift it up again and put it back down.
Opening play for me there is Krennic, another amazing unit, 2/2, and I can play a unit that has a when defeated for 1 less. I believe the play that I had in mind here was Count Dooku, being able to exploit those 2. That would be on the 4th resource, so I could do it at the start of the next phase and give Dooku experience. It's nuts. Byron punches with Fire Spray. I decided to be a little bit cheeky and not take enough damage to base because I don't know how to count.
Yeah, if that's Fire Spray swings for 3 and he swings for 4, he put 3. Yeah, and then that's the indirect damage. So still 1 damage less, so you should be at 15 at the moment.
That's 2 to Byron's base.
I think right now I'm sitting here do I go ahead and do a triple dark or nah? And I decide to just play my the droid missile
platform.
Yep, that one. Yeah, I end up pulling another Fet's Fire Spray.
Definitely not the hand that I wanted here. That's 2 planetary bombardments, Count Dooku, Chimera. This is now the 5th resource I think we're up to.
And you've got 10 HP left on base, and I'm swinging for 3. I'm swinging for 10. So I do have lethal on board. And I can bring Boba out.
Okay, so I've gone with Chimera. I don't know why I just paused there. I only can use 1 when defeated, so I've chosen to put 2 experience on Chimera and not use Thrawn's ability. Obviously, having Val in mind, possibly to set up Thrawn to swing for a lot.
Yeah. I gambled just in case you had something to remove my cards, not realizing that you were already tapped out. And I had lethal. So I triple dark rated, and I didn't get everything I wanted, but I as you will see here in a second, I did get something pretty good. I pay 1 for a Fet's Fire Spray. No matter what, comes in ready, and now swings for 5. So I'm dealing 15 damage here, because my mind was instantly, yes, 30 HP base, I need more damage. And yeah, you,
Scooped.
Yep, you scoop here. Going into the next game, you obviously took the initiative. Got the cards. What were you hoping for here?
I was pretty happy with things, actually. I think to get this deck to really fire, I need to see First Order Stormtrooper or possibly Krennic as a turn 1 play.
Yeah, I had a little too many higher cost cards. Didn't really have much of a turn 1 play that I would have used, so I had to take the mulligan here. Normally with this deck, I'm hoping to get like an ISB agent or a Daring Raid, preferably both. Just because, yeah, ISB agent, half of the time that 1 damage kills something, or it really hurts it. If not, Daring Raid, that's 2 damage. Most cheap units have 2 HP, or 3 HP with ISB. It kills any first turn unit.
I think that's why I would have really liked to have seen Krennic. To have the shield would not have destroyed my turn 1 play.
Yeah.
Accidentally just flashed a card.
I didn't even see it. Since this deck, I have removed the lurking ties. So I did just resource a lurking tie. It doesn't really work in this deck. Well, this set really just has too much that kills a lurking tie. And it just doesn't work with this deck properly.
I know for me, Desperate Commando is amazing. A 2/2 unit that minus one's minus 1/1's an enemy when defeated, and I can tap it. So for me, to be able to get that off on something like a Lurking Tie or a Village Protectors is huge.
Yeah. I know. I used to just be scared of blue decks when running a Lurking Tie, but now I also have to be scared of yellow. The new pilot from this set, when played as a unit, it instead becomes a pilot on an enemy, which gives it -2/-2. That just kills Lurking Tie. No. The yellow unit, the red guy pointing.
And I just decided to play Merciless Contest and tap Thrawn to deal 4 to base and remove cards. That's great.
I'll probably flash the unit I was talking about on screen in a little bit as well. Yeah, that move kind of messed with me.
Just like me to go back to my control roots.
Yeah, you dirty control player. Anyway, Fet's Fire Spray for 3 onto base instantly because of the and Merciless Contest.
And I said no, sir, and got rid of it straight away.
Yep. Well, hey, at least I got the free damage on base. Boba's ability plus Fet's ability. Yeah.
Byron takes initiative. I play a Stormtrooper. My board's
I have to do something, man. Those Merciless Contests, they hurt. Yeah, so I put a Daring Raid down because I had a lot of cards in my hand that I could have played instead of the Daring Raid, and it probably would have been more beneficial. Not Daring Raid, sorry, Ruthless Raider. I ended up playing IG-2000 just to kill off your First Order Trooper, and also deal 1 damage to base with Boba's ability.
I use Thrawn to deal 2 indirect damage from the when defeated, and then play a heavy.
Yep, so I claim here. I know here that no matter what happens, I can pretty much kill off that heavy just by deploying Boba. Boba's deploy is basically just an overwhelming barrage with 4 damage. So pretty
That's one
cool
way
of an
looking at
ability.
it.
Yeah, well that's what I've been basically saying. It's overwhelming barrage, but it's maxed out at 4.
Byron just taking a look to learn some cards, because I couldn't tell you a deck that played heavy last set.
Yeah.
Boba deploy kills heavy straight away.
Yep.
That sucks for me.
Again, Boba 4 damage when it gets deployed to whoever I want, split as much as I want. It does not matter. And yes, Perilous Position, I hate you so much. That card is the worst.
Yeah, just tried to avoid taking a lot of damage to base.
Yeah, well, that would have swung for 7.
Interestingly enough, since playing this, I did take Perilous out of this deck. It's not something I'm running main board now. It's probably more of a sideboard card for certain matchups, I feel. But yeah, it's certainly not something I needed. Since this day, I actually got a extra planetary bombardment and an extra devastator. That's why I took it out.
Yeah, good to know for me next time we play. Don't need to worry about Perilous Positions.
Speaking of those cards, that's exactly what I've got in my hand. How's that?
Yep. I did triple Dark Raid, and I'm pretty sure I got something good from it.
Well, there was a play where you didn't get anything. It might have been this turn.
No. The card that I've just put down in the little corner. But I was like, actually, wait, no, I should play this other card. So I quickly grabbed the cards back. Thankfully, they're just the 6 at the bottom of my deck. Not like I'm eating at that point. And I think I switch out for that. I think I grabbed Fett's Fire Spray and paid the 1 extra. No, I Lurking Tide, sorry. Yeah, and then that's swinging for 4 at your base.
I'm unsure why I didn't just play Planetary Bombardment. This was very early days of me learning the deck. Hang on, I've used resources. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you've only used 3 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perilous positioned me right off the bat. But hey, that no good to me dead. I love that card in this deck. Being that I'm space heavy, I can just exhaust ground for a couple turns and not have to worry about it. Get a bit more damage off and see where I'm at after there.
Have you considered running? I can't think of the card now. The one that exhausts each unit in a certain arena. Outmaneuver.
Yeah. I have
Planetary Bombardment, and Byron the Chad decides to take it all on base.
Yep, because I knew. Now that I know that you have 27 HP, I go a little bit better on it. Now, here's where he cheats again. So my Surprise Strike comes into play, and that's a Surprise Strike on my IG. Now, you should have taken 8 damage to your base. So my IG plus Boba is 7 damage. Perilous does, minus that down to 5. But the Surprise Strike kind of says no to Perilous, brings it back up, and gives it an extra 1. So you should have taken 8 damage. I think you took 6 here, if I recall correctly.
Well, either way. No, I only took 3.
No, so you took 6. You were at 18. You went up to 24. I then just bring out my Lurking Tie again. You had already claimed, so I pass. You can finally used Thrawn again, but I mistakened it, and you'll see in a minute. I re-exhaust Thrawn and then say, "Oh wait, shit, my bad. Not meant to be exhausted." Thought I'd get ahead of that and apologize about it.
Would it be worth running frozen and Oh no, frozen and carbonite's non-leader, but that
Yeah.
still might help. It
Yeah,
goes along with the Boba theme.
some things yes, some things no. Like this deck is already like 50 something cards. Yeah, so you kill that off, and you only put one. Like you only get to put 2 damage on my IG, but it's a little too late. Dude's about to be swinging for like 5 damage, kills you off. You swoop here and they'll scoop it, and that's it.
There's the bump. GG.
Yep. GG's, man. What would you have done a little differently?
It was hard to say at the time because this was the first weekend of Jump to Lightspeed, and I hadn't quite figured out my deck. Definitely issue number 1. Issue number 2 is I still feel like I'm in this phase, but I'm getting through it. I don't really know where is smart to assign my indirect damage at what time. I think reflecting on it now, indirect damage is great against my Thrawn deck because it lets me kill my things easier, which is what I want to do.
Yeah, that's why I tended to try not to use too many of my indirect damage cards. Like I've got a lot of cards in there which kind of like pop the Boba or give extra indirect damage and stuff like that. And I was hoping to not see it and not use those, just because it could have killed off your Val, boosting up your Krennic a lot more, or there was a lot of things in there that I was scared of. But it worked out in my favor, thankfully, and managed to claim that.
I think another thing I would change as well is I'm still testing it, but adding in no glory only results is another great one for me too.
Is that the one where it
Take control of
takes
it
control and
defeat
defeats it? Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Especially if you used that against my droid missile platform.
Yep.
3 indirect damage, and then because it's your unit at that point, you can Thrawn it for 6 indirect. That's crazy.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, definitely GG to Brian, absolutely spanking me for 2-0. Even with me cheating, I still didn't stand a chance. But yeah, no, we appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.